How many of you have ever had errors navigating through your current billing system, or maybe you had a work item that you were unable to figure out what you're supposed to do with it? Okay. Well, that's my goal in this presentation, is to kind of maybe cut back on the navigation errors and be able to understand fully what we're supposed to do with every individual work item that's assigned to us manually through Cerner. So if we take a look at our agenda for this presentation, the first thing I want to go over is navigating through revenue cycle. The second thing we'll go over is work queues. And the third thing I want to go over is, if we have enough time, talk about navigating through a patient's account. So first, let's jump into revenue cycle. This is the opening page of revenue cycle. If you take a look on the left, you'll see you have your supervisor relationship in your top left corner underneath your personnel tab. If you double click on one of those billers' names, you'll see on the right you have their workflow. Underneath that workflow tab, you'll see all the individual work queues that are assigned to that specific biller. So starting at the top, we have our pending edit claim and our pending reimbursement claim. Haven't you guys ever wanted to know where specifically in a workflow a claim is at, or how close it is to being reimbursed? Well, that pending edit claim is something that's going to tell you which claims have been specifically sent from revenue cycle into our scrubber called Revenue Manager. The pending reimbursement claim work queue is going to tell you, okay, those claims that were sent to the scrubber have now been sent on to our payer. When should we expect reimbursement back from these specific claims? So these aren't necessarily ones that need to be worked, but these are very good for monitoring purposes. Another queue we can take a look at is ready to bill. Those are specific encounters that have completed the billing process. They are now discharged, and all they're waiting for is a claim to be generated. So once an ops job runs overnight, a claim will be generated and sent into our scrubber. How many of you guys have ever had an instance when a patient changed their address after a claim has been sent out? Okay. So this is one cool thing about revenue cycle. If you'll see, we have a demographic modifications work queue. What this work queue is going to catch is any encounters where a claim has been sent and then registration information, such as an address, has been changed after the claim has been sent. So essentially what that's going to tell you to do is, if you double click into that specific encounter, you can go to the patient's account, you can cancel the claim from there, and then you can also go into your scrubber, put that in a deleted status, and then set this benefit order back to ready to bill. And then once that claim, or once that overnight ops job runs again, you'll have another claim sent out with the correct demographic information on it. So if you can see, it's a very nice touch to be able to catch that information and make sure the billing isn't sent to the improper address. The next thing I want to do is jump into a patient's account. So if I wanted to jump into a ready to bill work queue, I could double click on that work queue, and you'll see all the specific encounters have formulated underneath there. So one cool thing I like about revenue cycle is, after you enter a work queue, you can then filter by specific criteria. If you look on the top half of that screen, on the right half, it says we have a filter/sort column. So within these little drop downs, we can display which specific health plans, facilities, encounter types, bill types that we want to specifically see. So if we just select Blue Cross Blue Shield of Missouri and hit apply, we'll see these are the only two encounters that are under a ready to bill status that are going to Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Do you have any questions about how to filter or apply filters in work queues? Okay. So if we just double click, we'll enter into a patient account. It will take a few seconds to load. Okay, so if you can see here, we've entered in through our encounter perspective. I like to say your encounter perspective is more or less your home base of revenue cycle, since Cerner is an encounter-based system. So now that we're wrapping up our presentation, we've gone over navigating through revenue cycle, we've gone over discussing some work queues, and also going through a patient's account. Do you guys have any questions for me? None? Okay, well, if any questions do arrive, you can feel free to email me at patrick.spinner@center.com. Thank you.